The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyatela Show.
702.
25 minutes before 12 o'clock, time for the Sharing Space. And you know how we roll on the Sharing Space. We read or play a voice note from one of you or read an email you've sent us sharing your story with us. And then if you are asking for advice, we give listeners an opportunity to call us about that. So please do send us your stories for the Sharing Space. You can send an email on cm@702.co.za to tell us what your story is. What happened at home, what happened at work, what happened with your partner, with your friends, whatever it is, really. You know, just tell us what it is. And then we'll read that email on air, or we'll, if you want to send us a voice note, we'll do that, play it on air, and then we hear from the views of other listeners. Today, we are going to read an email that we received on cm@702.co.za from Anonymous. So please pay attention to what Anonymous says, and if you've got advice for Anonymous, please feel free to share it with us. And so it goes. Good day, Clement and the team. I'm writing this email with a heavy heart. Please keep me anonymous. I would like to hear from the listeners and how they view this matter. We are 2 siblings at home. Our parents are late. They left a property with outside rooms which are occupied by tenants. My older brother is unemployed and lives there at the property. He came back home after my mom passed. He's benefiting from the tenants' money and he shares nothing with me because I'm employed. There's no will. The property is still under my father's name. I have my own family. I have been asking my brother to share money with me, but he refuses, saying that if I need a share, I must come back home. It's been 6 years now. I didn't want half of the money, but at least 1 or 2 rooms were enough, but still, he refused. I have taken the matter to the lawyers, so we sell this house because it's been 6 years and my brother claims it's his inheritance. It was not easy to come to this decision of approaching the lawyers to a point where we'll sell the house, but unfortunately it's fair and harsh. Unfortunately, it's fair and harsh. Am I unfair? I would like to hear from some of the 702 family. Do they think that I'm being unfair? Kind regards, Anonymous. That's just so tricky, Anonymous, eh? This is so tricky. All right, what do you think of what Anonymous is saying? Do you think she's being unfair? 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. So my preliminary thoughts here are, so the brother is staying at home where the property is. And isn't the brother taking care of the rooms? Isn't the brother looking after the infrastructure? Because if that's the case, Anonymous, I'm afraid the brother is entitled, I think, to some of that money, if not all of it, that you guys are getting or that he's getting from the tenants. Because I would imagine he is the one at home who is looking after the property. So if there's anything wrong, the tenants go to him and you don't live at home. If that is not the case, right, if he doesn't have any responsibility, he's not looking after the property in terms of security, etc., then maybe you make a good argument that you must share in what the tenants are paying. Are you fair on approaching the lawyers for the house to be sold? I don't think that's unfair, especially if you, as siblings, you're not finding each other. Because if really the parents didn't leave the house for your brother, this house is for both you and your brother, it's both your inheritance, then it's only fair that you share in either the tenants that are renting the property, or if you're going to be selling this house, you guys get half, share half on what you will sell this house for. That's just my preliminary thoughts based on the story that Anonymous has given us. What are your thoughts? And have you been in a situation like this where parents are no more and now you are stuck with siblings and you have to decide on how to move forward, especially in cases where parents left a property, a house? Yeah, because sometimes parents, when they pass, before they pass, they're just thinking, all of us are going to use that home as still our home. But then you've got other siblings who somehow want to take control over the house and treat it as if it's theirs, which then makes things a little tricky, especially in this case where you've got tenants in the house. What are your thoughts? Let's talk. 011-883-0702. Maybe you can give Anonymous some advice as well on what approach she should be taking. 072-702-1702 for your WhatsApp voice notes. It's 20 minutes before 12.
The Sharing Space
On the Clement Manyatela Show.
702.
15 minutes now before 12 o'clock. Let's go to your calls and WhatsApps. Anonymous, if you've just joined us, says, Mom is late. Mom has left two of them as siblings, as their parents are late, in fact, both of them. And it's only her and her brother that are left. The brother came back home after the parents passed, lives at home. But that home actually has outside rooms which are occupied by tenants. And the brother has not been sharing proceeds from the tenants with her. And she has now reached a point where she's decided to approach the lawyer so that they sell this house and they can take half-half. Which is a sad thing, because what if the parents didn't want this house to be sold? They wanted it to still be a home, but the brother doesn't want to share this money. And the question I asked earlier was, is Anonymous contributing on the upkeep of the home? Right? Is she paying the rates? If there's maintenance needed, does she pay for that? If not, then I don't think she's entitled to the money that is being paid by the tenants. If she is, then I think it's only fair for her to want to share in on that, because it's the brother who stays at home. It's the brother who probably needs to attend to whether there are issues with the infrastructure, the stuff that the tenants need fixed. But what do you think? Teboho, you are calling us from Alberton. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Yes, Clement, good morning. How are you?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, Clement, look, insofar as Anonymous, I think, number one, this would be her biggest mistake, to actually sell that property. You know, these properties where Clement, so that is one. Two, I mean, if she's able to afford the lawyer and so forth and so on, so clearly she's doing pretty well for herself. You know, why go through all these things? You're employed, you've got a family, you're doing well for yourself. I mean, the brother is making ends meet, you know. And there's only one side of the story that we're getting from her. You know, I think it's fair enough on the letter she could have written, here's my brother's number. Here's side of the story. That's just my take anyway.
Thank you so much for your take, Teboho. I think you raised an important point about how would the parents feel. If you're selling the family home, is that what the parents would like? But then what else do you do? If Anonymous has tried other ways for her and the brother to sit and resolve this, and nothing has really come to fruition in as far as a solution is concerned, what else then do you do? Gladys, you calling us from Spruitview. What do you think? Hi.
Hi, I'm good.
Hey, Tada.
It's a very tricky situation. The brother is not good. Anonymous is not getting the money from the brother. However, if there was a will, it was going to specify what needs to happen to the house. As parents, I think we need to draw up wills and make sure that we do it diligently to know who's responsible for what. But when it comes also to the maintenance of the house, it becomes a problem, because you may find that it's only one individual. They are not collectively maintaining the house. And but we need also to adapt. Times have changed. People are migrating from one area to another. If the house, it will come to where it is sold, it will benefit both of them equally, and they will go and establish themselves somewhere. Because times have changed. That thing out of go higher and do things, it was strenuous, particularly to the individual who's maintaining the house.
Okay. Gladys, thank you, in Spruitview. Oh, you've just made me think of something I've never really thought of. Like when Or, when, because it can't be an if. When my parents are no longer with us, and I hope that won't be anytime soon. But when that happens, I don't know if I would want to sell that home. Yeah, I would rather hire someone or get a cousin or someone who needs a home who can use it as their home, but it's available for us. Because I feel like I'm losing a connection of sorts with my folks. And I would want to go back home. Like if I want to go maybe on Christmas or on specific holidays, on days when I used to go home to spend with my family. I think I would want that. So, you've just given me something to think about. I don't think I would agree for the house to be sold. I don't think I would agree. And I hope my siblings are never going to come with those stories. Here are some of the WhatsApp voice notes that have come through.
Hi. Good morning, Clement. Pat here from Sprayview. This thing is into two folds. Hence it is unfair and harsh. But I think I'll go for unfair because she is working and she's not struggling the way it sounds. Her brother isn't working, so that is a living for him. So to sell the house, that means the brother will suffer. Where is he going to stay? So it's a bit unfair right there.
Hi, Clement. I know that situation very well. The brother, it's unfair what he's doing to her sister. But the sister, she's very, very selfish. The brother is not working. The sister seems like she's financially stable or she has a family, her own place, and everything seems to be in order, looks like. Since she can even afford to pay lawyers. So she's very selfish. So now they have no place to call home, That's selfish. She's being selfish. I mean, what she could have done is that to get the lawyers to be involved in a way that she gets at least 2 rooms then. Because obviously, even if you are financially stable, you do need extra income. Then that's the conversation that they're supposed to have, through lawyers, not to sell the house. That's selfish.
Hi, Clement. Regarding Anonymous, are not getting share from the inheritance from their parents. I've gone almost the same situation with my brother, and I must say I'm well off than him. He's also older than me, but for me, I insisted because of the principle, and I believe there are blessings on that. So I insisted that he should give me my share based on what my father has left. And then it will be up to me to then give it back or not. So to me, I do support the Anonymous. She must fight to get her shares. Thank you. Great show. Anonymous here.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Anonymous, we actually just received a message from the same Anonymous who sent us this email, who shared the story with us. And Anonymous says, I would like to add that my brother is not maintaining the house. It's a mess. And in that case, then I think Anonymous is very much entitled to the share. Because why does the brother feel entitled to take all the money from the tenants? I mean, nobody said he must stay at home. In a case where the brother is not contributing in upkeeping the house, in the rates, in the maintenance of the house, then why must he be the one that gets all the money from the tenants? And in that case, I think Anonymous at least is entitled to that share. And if that doesn't work, what do you expect Anonymous to do? If not to approach the lawyers in the case like she has, to actually get the lawyers to intervene so that they sell the house. It's so tricky, eh? Master Chaba, you're calling us from Ilovo. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Clement. How are you?
Sure, I'm good. How are you? Go ahead.
I'm very well, thank you. Clement, I've been listening to the contributions that have been provided, and I'd just like to add the fact that in terms of the fact that there is no valid will and the parents died intestate, the estate should actually be dissolved in terms of the Interstate Succession Act, and because both parents have passed away, the descendants, which is the children in this instance, the siblings, are entitled to the estate, and they have to share it equally amongst each other. So in this situation, Anonymous is well within her rights to pursue this further with the attorneys, because she is equally entitled to the share of that property, which is part of the estate that her brother is. So she is well within her rights. She's not selfish in doing that. In fact, she is following the law, because in this instant, the estate should be dissolved in terms of the Interstate Succession Act, and therefore they are equally entitled to receiving anything that stems from that estate, which includes this property. And then it's for them to have a roundtable meeting with the attorneys, depending also on who is the executor in this estate, regarding whether they're going to sell the property or whether they're going to keep it. But if they decide to keep the property, she is also entitled to receiving an income from that, because it is part of their inheritance, it is part of their estate, and they are equal beneficiaries in terms of the estate.
Oh, couldn't have said it better. Maschaba, thank you so much for that in Ilovo. Valuable advice there for Anonymous. Sarah, you are in Senton. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Wholeheartedly agree
Sarah.
with the previous caller. All these men phoning in to say that she's in the wrong for wanting money because she has a job. That is her situation. This has nothing. Having a job has nothing to do with it. And the brother is living in the house. He demands that she comes back. To what end? So that she does the work for him at the house. I mean, this is just patriarchal nonsense. She is entitled to 50% of the inheritance, as the lady before has said. And the fact that she has a job is actually not a factor in this whole thing. He can take a salary for maintaining if he so desires, but he is just living there and reaping all the benefits. And that is patently unfair.
It is unfair. Sarah in Senton, thank you so much for your thoughts. Let's just wrap up maybe with one more WhatsApp voice note or two.
Hi, Clement. So there was no will that was left. So that means Anonymous and the brother have equal shares in the house. With regards to the brother being the one that is the caretaker, let's look at it from this perspective. If they had hired a caretaker to look after the rooms and the house, there would be a portion of the money coming from the rented rooms that pays the caretaker, and then whatever amount is left, they would equally split it. So that percentage that would have gone to the caretaker, let that go to the brother plus his share, and then Anonymous can get his share without the money that would have gone to the caretaker.
You're with Clement Maniatella.
702.
Oh, thank you so much for all this valuable advice you've given Anonymous. And Anonymous, all the best.